Good morning, Cosmic Warriors. I want to talk about intention in relationship to what we create in this life and our very narrow perspective that we have in the 3D and what we're truly capable of. So, if you caught my live or podcast from yesterday, I think it was, I was talking about second attention. Okay? And I was speaking on the relationship that has to into your intention. Two things, right? So I want to go deeper into the relationship of intention and our perspective in the 3D so that we can expand upon that and create the life that we desire. So you can go back and listen to that podcast first if you want, or you can go ahead and dive in here. So I was talking about second attention in relationship to our cosmic self, our luminous self. I want to talk more about intention and how that relates to how we are taught to create in this world, okay? First, I want to do a little housekeeping because the fans are on full blast. It's incredibly hot and humid. Okay, let me take that back. As a southerner, I will say it is incredibly humid in central New York. And I truly have seen the seasons turning more into Georgia weather, which is kind of crazy, but it's just a sign of climate change. I do not mind the humidity. I absolutely adore it. But what I want you to know is when it gets humid like this, my southern girl comes out. And my colloquialisms, whoo, I'm not going to tell you the one that I thought when I woke up and it was this humid because it has some curse words in it. But I want you to know that just be prepared because that southern accent will probably start coming out. Okay. So let's talk about intention. Intention is everything. It is what we create from. It is the base of how we create. And if you're in Evolution 10X Mastermind, you have been through the modules and understand the relationship between intention and goals and habit changes and the importance of declaring it. Declaring it is definitely part of intention. Now, what I see most entrepreneurs and coaches doing is, and human beings, okay, straight across the board, we set our intention, we set our goal, and then we use our external circumstances to try and achieve it, meaning we try to do our way to the goal instead of first embodying that being who we need to be to get there. Because if you've been with me for any time, you know that I'm always saying we work from our goals, not to them. So I really want you to process that part. Like, we declare, we set our intention. That's a form of declaration. And then we embody the person that already has that. And then we do the things that are in alignment to getting what we desire. Now, when it comes to setting intentions, human beings have a very myopic view and perspective of intention. We see it as a singular intention that we set. Let's talk about the new moon coming up. Set your intention and then, manifest that in what you desire over the next 30-day cycle. Set your intention, as if our vocabulary even backs this. We set our intention as if there is one and only one. So our subconscious and our brain perceives an intention of one. And then a lot of the times what we do is we set our intention and then we try and do our way to the result that we desire, and we get burned out because we're operating from external circumstances and we're not seeing the results that we want, because when we're operating from external circumstances, it makes things really hard and it takes a really long time to get what we want to manifest. And most of the time we give up. It makes sense. So our brain is perceiving one intention, and we perceive our capacity for change as one thing at a time. And for a long time, people would talk about multitasking, right? That was like a buzzword in the 90s. And then science was like, no, you can't multitask. Okay, the science was like, doctors and scientists were like, no, we can't multitask. We can only do one thing at a time. Okay, I can tell you that every woman listening to this live or podcast or wherever you're consuming this, we know for a fact that we can multitask. That we can feed our child, talk on the phone, and get the dog outside at the same time. We can fold laundry and do a coaching or a live and talk to people. We can be walking and chewing gum at the same time, right? If any of you remember that. I can walk and chew gum at the same time. I grew up with that saying. And that was a saying that my mother and I used to say because we were so badass. Don't talk to me like that. I can walk and chew gum at the same time. Anyway, so we have been taught to perceive that we are only capable of creating one thing at a time. But we are multidimensional, complex beings. Even our physical body is a complex being. Our human form is complex. This means that our luminous self is even more complex and capable of so much more. You are your luminous self. This body that you are walking around this earth in is a glove that you wear to manifest the stuff, to do the things, right? Through doing the things in alignment to get that in which you desire in this human experience. Since we can multitask, this means that we can also have multiple intentions at one time. I want to keep this really simple and help you close that gap to understand that you can have it all. Life is not this or that. Life is everything, every bit of it. This means that we can set our intention and then work in second attention. And second attention is not one particular place. It's not a place, it's a frequency. Okay? Second attention is a frequency. And it's a frequency of infinite possibilities and infinite success. So therefore, you can set your intention and you can still be creating within that frequency without the restraints of physical form. I know this might be hard for some people to wrap their head around right away, but for those that are working with me, and after you've dove into the Evolution 10X method, you really begin to understand how to master your brain, this physical body that we came to Earth to experience all the things in. So as you work through the method and you begin to master it, right? The first time is like those that are artists in here. Yes, one of my degrees is in fine art, and it was in a sculpting. So like when you're working in clay, you need the clay to get all the bubbles out of it, to get it nice and smooth, to create that smooth consistency so that it will hold together well, whether you're hand building or on a wheel. So no matter how you are utilizing it, it's like getting that clay prepared, we called it. Okay? You're preparing the clay. Your first round through Evolution 10X method is preparing that clay, loosening up the brain so that it can begin to expand and evolve. You're getting it used to rapid change. You're getting all those air bubbles out that were created from socialized conditioning. Some people call it grooming from your past. So you're like, there's some uncomfortable moments. Sometimes there's some big bubbles in there that need to get out so that it doesn't explode in the kiln. So you're needing that your first round through E10X. Then, as you move through it, second, third, fourth time, you are able to really take that clay that has already been prepared, and then you can start applying the techniques that you have learned, that you know, in life or in business in order to achieve that in which you desire. So these concepts begin to become more digestible. You're able to really focus on what it is you desire and then expand these concepts into fitting your own belief system in a way that's going to propel you into creating more rapidly that in which you want in this life. So those that are listening that are in the mastermind, you're going to hear what I have told you very differently than somebody who has never worked with me and is listening to this on a podcast. But what I want you to know is it's not hearing it any better. It's hearing it differently from where they're at, where they need to go, and what they want to achieve. I don't believe in a hierarchy of consciousness. I believe that we all here have a journey and we have lessons and knowings that we ourselves are here to achieve. No one else knows what they are. I don't know what they are. You learn as you go. I have to learn the lessons that I need to learn here in this life on a core level as I go along as well. They're different. They're no better. They don't make me a better person. I am always striving to be the best version of myself in every moment and hopefully carry that through. So going back to intention, we can set multiple intentions at once. And I can guarantee you, as a cosmic being, as a cosmic warrior, when you are setting intentions on the full moon, there are definitely more than one. Switch your perspective to what intention is, attention is, and begin to really rapidly ascend to creating those desires and those outcomes. We can operate in many dimensions and timelines at once to create that in which we desire here in this life. Now, for those that are listening to this on one of the platforms, one of my social platforms, and you have not dove in to what the Evolution 10X Mastermind is, please reach out. Reach out to me or reach out to someone who shared this podcast or YouTube with you. Come on in to the Cosmic Coaches group. Because by you sharing this and spreading this knowledge, you and I together are transforming more lives. So if you found value in this, please share it. So there you have it. If you have any questions about this, any comments about it, whatever platform you're on, leave a review, and a good one, if you will, because it helps the algorithms, right? And more people will hear it, and more people will transform. And if you have any questions, just comment. Let me know them. I would love to answer them. And I probably would even use them on another podcast episode.